Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. I am Almujer Ibba from Malusu, and for today, I'm going to discuss about chi-square distribution using contingency tables. Learning objectives: describe a chi-square distribution, calculate expected counts in two-way tables, construct and interpret two-way tables. These are my references. World Scramble. Let's try this. Direction. Rearrange the following or unjumbled the scrambled letters. Write your answer in the space provided. What is a chi-square distribution? The chi-square distribution is a theoretical distribution of values for a population. How is the chi-square distribution used? It is used for statistical tests where the test statistic follows a chi-square distribution. Two common tests that rely on the chi-square distribution are the chi-square goodness of fit test and the chi-square test of independence. The chi-square distribution is a family of distributions. Its distribution is defined by the degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom are discussed in greater detail on the pages for the goodness of fit test and the test of independence. The figure below shows three different chi-square distributions with different degrees of freedom. Chi-square distribution with different degrees of freedom. You can see that the blue curve with 8 degrees of freedom is somewhat similar to a normal curve, the familiar bell curve, but it has a longer tail to the right than a normal distribution and it's not symmetric. Compare the blue curve to the orange curve with 4 degrees of freedom. The orange curve is very different from a normal curve. The purple curve has 3 degrees of freedom and looks even less like a normal curve than the other two curves. The higher the degrees of freedom for a chi-square distribution, the more it looks like a normal distribution. The chi-square formula. The chi-square formula is difficult formula to deal with. That's mostly because you've expected to add a large of numbers. The easiest way to solve the formula is by making a table. What is a contingency table? A contingency table is a tabular representation of categorical data. A contingency table usually shows frequencies for particular combinations of values of two discrete random variables, x and y. Each cell in the table represents a mutually exclusive combination of x and y values. Now let's apply contingency tables. We have the observed value. For example, our question here are that who are the students throwing garbage anywhere after the class? What are we going to do is to add the male, female. We have Tausug, Christian, other. For male, we have 26, Tausug, 13, Christian, 5 other, total of 44. For female, we have 20, Tausug, 29, Christian, 7 other, total of 56. And we have also to total this, the following male and female Tausug, we have 46, 13 and 29 Christian, total of 42. And other 5 for male and 7 for female, total of 12 and a total of 100 overall. We have the result, the expected value. How to get this expected value for male, female? We have to use calculator nor use a formula for this. What is the formula for this? Is you have going to multiply the total male and a total of the female. For example, 44 times 46 divided by 100 overall total is equals to 20.26. 44 times 29 divided by 100 is equals to 18. Just do all the remaining to get the expected value. Now, if you plug into the calculator the observed value to get the expected value, here are the results. For male, 20.24. For Christian 18.48 and other 5.28. For female 25 Tausug 23.52 for Christian, 6.72 for other. Now we are going to add all this. Now let's apply the chi-square formula. The chi-square formula is observed value minus expected value second squared divided by expected value. Now let's substitute the expected value and the observed value. We have this, the observed value and the expected value. If you plug all of this into the calculator, the result is 5.86, and this is our test statistic. As what we have discussed earlier, the chi-square formula is a difficult formula to deal with. That's mostly because you've expected to add a large of numbers. The easiest way to solve the formula is by making a table. We have 7 contingency table steps. First, make a table with columns for categories, observed and expected. Second, fill in the data categories. Third, write your counts. Fourth, calculate your expected value. 5. Subtract the expected value step 4 from the observed value step 3. 6. Square your result from the step 5. 7. Divide the amount in step 6 by the expected value. And 8. Add up or sum all the values in the last column. The chi-square distribution has many uses in statistics, including confidence interval estimation for a population standard deviation of a normal distribution from a sample standard deviation. Number 2, independence of two criteria of classification of qualitative variables. Number 3, relationships between categorical variables. 4. Sample variance study when the underlying distribution is normal. 5. Test of deviation of differences between expected and observed frequencies. One-way table. And the last, the chi-square test of a goodness of fit test. Thank you so much and stay safe everyone. Salam dua.